Hey, look at it, son.
What's going on, world? It's your boy Gemini Brown here.
King Day.
Joe.
And Money Man Dan.
And we're back with another episode of King Talk. It's been a while, guys.
Words, man.
Life is a little hectic these days, you know?
Moving fast.
Schedules and all of that.
We're back.
But we're back in the building. There's a lot going on out there. Joe, you're reading Unlearn by Humble the Poet. I definitely want to check this out. I don't know if you've seen this dude online, but pretty deep. Says a lot of interesting stuff. So the title of this gave way to today's topic about what did you have to unlearn within life. But in our perspective, we're going to focus in on, the opposite sex. Mm-hmm. So women, feel free to chime in. Let us know what you had to unlearn about men or relationships, and we'll give our perspective about what we had to unlearn about y'all. So for myself, it's a real interesting one because I'm very much so self-aware. Mm-hmm. And relationships, I think it really makes you aware of your own patterns and things like that.
Definitely.
So one thing I definitely had to unlearn was expectations that women had to be a particular type of way. Mm-hmm. Being that, I grew up with a mom who was pretty hands-on, take charge, communicative, overall alpha, and then the first person I was in a serious relationship with was very much so the same way. So I just grew to become accustomed to that until, I got into my second serious relationship, and she was pretty much submissive, and pretty much like, what do you want? You lead the way. And that kind of really put things in a perspective for me that, like, okay, gender roles are real. Some women look towards men, to be aggressive. And this kind of extends to our last video. We talked about a woman submitting and things like that. So I definitely had to unlearn that. And also, as I got older, I think it's part of the world, progressing and things like that. I think it's cool to be a man who knows how to take care of himself. How to cook, rather than having a woman cook for you.
Do everything for you.
Yeah. And then, having my own spot and things like that. Women come through like, wow, you're pretty neat for a guy. You know what I mean? So unlearning those things are like, I don't need a woman to do particular things for me. I can do it myself.
Word.
Real quick. So to everybody that's on the IG Live, appreciate y'all coming in. If you got any comments, questions, throw them in there, and then we'll also try to address them in our discourse right now. So go ahead.
Alright, so what I had to unlearn when it comes to relationships, I had to unlearn quantity over quality. So what I mean by that is I had to understand that from what I was like learning from the older brothers, the older cousins, the OGs, if you will, like that more is better. You know what I mean? So I had to understand, like, I had to unlearn that just because you have more, that don't make your situation better. So I had to unlearn that quality.
Okay.
I agree with that a lot. That one right there is crazy, and I'm always thinking in the frame of mind like, how did we arrive here at this point of just being in relationships with no
multiple.
Yeah, with like no regard for the other. Like I got this chick, I got that chick, and I think a lot of it is just learned behavior. Somewhere along the line, I don't know. Like I don't know if it was the 80s or the 90s. It wasn't cool to have a high school sweetheart and things like that. But
I think that's always adored. But I think it kind of
it's much more in the open now.
No, but I feel like to that point, I feel like it was more ridiculed back when we were growing up to be the whole like the cute couple and.
I don't know. My parents high school sweetheart, so
I don't know.
So like I don't know, cause like my parents is high school, and everybody I know like who knew them from high school, be like, oh yeah, they just but like I don't know.
So I agree with that one, man. I think
I think the biggest thing with what D just said was time. I look back I don't know how I had the time
Yeah,
to maintain. It's because it's time consuming. It's time consuming to maintain like 4 or 5 girls, 4 or 5 women at one
and you
time.
gotta maintain
bruh.
them lives too, like that.
And then yes,
you gotta
like,
keep up. Oh, did I tell her this? That? Oh, I bet I gotta keep that. Like, you know
like,
what I mean?
I don't remember how I used to. I never had 4 or 5, but like I used to have like 3 in the cup at once. You know, like that was like my number.
It's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I had to start 5.
Oh man. Word.
Joe, what you?
For me, I guess 2 spheres. In regards to like relationships with women, like among the guys, I think like just the language I use to describe women, I had to shift. Cause me, I try to be myself at all in like all scenarios. So
Right.
I know I had to definitely take the time into like shift my language. You know, take out the B word, take out the H word, take out pretty much any derogatory phrase besides woman to describe a woman. Like,
Yeah, I think it's. I mean, I got 4 sisters, and I just never really was off that. And I'm very, to this day, I'm very aware of when somebody, whether it be a man or a woman, because don't get it wrong, women out there love to use the word bitch, So when, I don't know, I just have a trigger for it. I hear it, I'm like, So yeah, that I was very much so like you. I never really made that a habit of using that. However, I would say this. I don't know. Did we ever notice how, like, I don't know, women would kind of be attracted to guys who were kind of like a little
rough around the edges.
With
the
was younger,
language?
most definitely. It was like
Right.
it was like.
I remember
Nice guys finish last, type
Right,
thing,
right,
that kind of thing. So I think that was a real thing back then. That nice guys finish last. I don't believe that anymore.
I think now we gotta kind of be like, not a balance, but it gotta kind of be like, he's strong enough to lead, but he's not disrespectful. You know what I mean? Back then it was like, it was one sided in the sense of like, it was all disrespect, and it was tolerating it.
It was,
you know what I mean?
and I felt like that was looked at as a sign of like some type of masculinity or something like that. I remember looking just be like, you really gonna let him talk about women or talk to you like that? So yeah, that's a good one.
The second one was just my interactions, say one-on-one in my relationships, because I wasn't too much of a player. Just like, I don't know if microaggression is the right word, but like the little things that I subconsciously did to say maintain my dominance. Like, so say if we got into an argument, me being louder than her, or me standing up to be more like, to give more a physical presence than her, because I was usually bigger than my the lady I was dating at the time. Like, those things like are intimidating to the sense that like I used to use them to our advantage to win every situation.
Right.
And now I feel like with time I gather the intellect and the confidence.
Comfortable.
Yeah, to just I can use my words.
Right,
I can express my point without having to like be overbearing and intimidating on the other individual.
It's interesting you're even conscious of that, but we're gonna come back to that.
Yeah. Well, for me, what I had to really unlearn, the biggest thing I had to unlearn with women was they can do to men what men do to them, what we do to them.
Okay.
You mean now?
Just in general.
Right.
Like,
I think you're saying before you felt like they weren't allowed to do
what I was
doing to them.
So basically, like the double standard.
Right.
Like I can do it to you, but goddamn it, you can't do it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be damned. And I just really had to unlearn that. That was like a real negative way, because in that was also a way that of me trying to control the relationship instead of just be in and like instead of be a part of the relationship. I'm kind of control and place confines around you and us and me and what we doing. Yeah, bro. So it's just that double standard, like
and that definitely comes with age for sure.
Yeah.
Another thing that I definitely had to unlearn. I think this also comes with age, but also with like spiritual growth. You're not supposed to sleep with every woman that you can sleep with. and that you may be attracted to.
True.
You know, I don't know what you guys know about it, but you know, sex is energy. You know, and nowadays I think in the frame of mind is like, I wouldn't have sex with any woman I wouldn't, I get to, for lack of a term, want to be, or I wouldn't want to like experience her energy. You know, so yeah, that's definitely something that
I like
changed.
that one. I like
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
I feel like back in the day, opposite of what you're saying, I feel like that was almost like men had the free range to do almost whatever, and it'd be glorified. Like how they said, the conversation, like if a woman sleeps with many men, she's a hoe.
right?
But
Yeah,
if
the
a
double
man
standard.
sleeps with many women, it's like,
Bro,
champ over here.
a master key unlock the door. That's the,
Yeah,
that's
that's one of my
saying,
favorite
you know?
ones. Yeah, that one's crazy.
but it's because I guess being a patriarchal society and
Right.
like the man having like men being say the most privileged and like a traditional relationship with men and women, like just having that freedom, and even when they messed up or like they're single and they're just roaming, like
Right.
it's like there's no consequence or like
Right.
negative stigma attached to it.
That's
There
true.
was not a negative
Makes sense.
stigma attached to
It's a
it.
double standard
So-
for sure.
Man.
You think we're past that? Because I still think women are.
But I
Women are definitely more empowered in acting as such.
Yes.
But do you think they're, still the negative connotations with it?
Yeah, because I think it falls on us. I think the responsibility is on us. Like, I think, yes, it still exists because there are still what I'm going to call, for lack of better words, just weaker men who haven't learned that yet. Who haven't, or not weaker, men who haven't evolved past that yet. So because we haven't evolved past that, then yeah, the double standard still exists. So it's like, it's I put the burden kind of upon us.
I would say that, let me pose this question to
Go
you
ahead.
guys. I mean, we're older. No one's really talking about numbers, right? But let's just say you're aware of a woman's number.
Mhm.
Turn off or turn off? Or it doesn't matter, I should say.
Everyone's story is different.
Right.
Birds.
So
Right.
So like, how is she presenting herself now? Cause
I was thinking about Cardi B with this one because, she's pretty open about her experiences and the things she's done. But look where she is now.
but see, I don't even.
So let's look at it in that
Okay.
light,
But I was
She's
thinking.
now successful.
I was thinking more along the line of like, like say like, if it's well known versus not known at all.
Okay.
Like that presents a whole different dynamic because then
Okay,
outside
that's-
pressure then.
That's what I'm just asking you guys personally.
Nah.
So let's look that. That's a good one. So let's say known versus unknown. What if it's known? What if she's Kim Kardashian?
and I know like she's well known, and I know how many bodies that she has.
Yeah,
it matters to me.
in Madison.
No, yeah, I'm not doing that. Like, I got to give Kanye credit. He's the only
Right.
he's the only man right now who I seen who turned a hoe into a housewife.
Right. And you know why?
Until she he turned a hoe into a housewife.
I can
I'm giving
assume
to him.
why. He loves her.
Yeah,
He loves her.
You know.
So
But I don't. It doesn't always work out that way.
Now, I just said he's the only one.
So basically,
the only one.
You wouldn't even get into the relationship knowing if it's known.
Yes, I wouldn't.
You
I
wouldn't?
No.
I would because I would like.
You would get in a relationship still.
Oh, relationship or
Well,
what do you?
Whatever type of relationship you want to have.
How I am is like I meet you first. Like that's not the first thing I'm bringing up. Honestly, I don't even ask that question. So
Right, that's what I'm saying. Most
we're
people
not
don't.
this
we
age,
just-
but
we
yeah.
We just
We're-
posing.
But
Yeah,
just to
posing it.
pose the question, if it was too much, then I gotta just say nah.
Yeah.
If it was too much,
I don't
nah.
even think that's like.
The vibe, regardless
Yeah.
of the vibe.
Um,
Because the thing with Ye, he loves her. That's one thing I always say. I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
more power to you, man. Like, yo, it is what it is. That he even got that bar. My girl became a star from a home movie. So he owns
He
it.
acknowledge. Honestly, bro, this is one of them situations where I really don't know until I'm presented, until I'm in
Into it,
that
right,
in that
right.
situation.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I think there's one aspect that probably we're not taking into consideration is like time. Like,
Yes.
So like,
We're just having this
if
the
she
same
was
thing.
moving like that,
And now she's
and
not.
now she's not, then it's different versus like I'm meeting her right now and
She's okay.
like that's unattractive to me from the start.
I hear you.
So
I
it's
hear
like
you.
I wouldn't even like give that
So,
a chance.
I guess it kind of just extends. That's a good point.
Yeah, you
So-
just made me rethink. Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing about today's world is all different type of movements because let's say you have the woman who's moving like that, then she meets the dude who says, enough of that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna show you better. I don't care. And then she, I guess, changes her ways. You get what I'm saying? So it's one of those subjects, man.
I don't know, but I'm gonna
Teaching you.
piggyback off that.
Okay.
I don't think I'm that dude to change your ways.
Yeah.
I think I'm the dude that, and because I personally did this myself,
Right.
I went through like a personal period of cleansing. Like you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I had to take some time off from sex and just
Hey,
like you know.
I second that, and I tell this to people all the time. Like, no matter where you're going and you need to grow, there's gonna be a point in time where it goes beyond sex that you just don't need to be in no type of relationship.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you need
yeah,
to just
yeah,
be in your
yeah.
own energy and get a hold of who you are. So
Because like sex is the
It's
deepest,
emerging.
it's the deepest level of connected
Connected,
energy.
yeah.
So like that taking a break is definitely necessary. Like and you learn a lot about yourself.
And that's why for me, that's why I don't know if I can be the guy to meet her and then just be like, oh, all right, I'm gonna treat you. You know, you gonna.
right.
I personally want to see like you do better first because I can like, if someone knew me prior to know how I was moving, she'd be like,
Yeah, you want to see.
I
her
can
change her
prove,
ways.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you know, I can prove to her now that I've changed over time and how I'm moving is different. So I would just want the same thing in respect. Just if you was moving like that, cool. But now, how are you moving now?
You want to see a period of growth after the fact that she.
or just time passed where you're not moving like that.
Okay,
to
yeah,
where
that's what I'm trying
you know,
to say,
yeah, you know, basically, yeah.
So ultimately, moving like that, say, here and now, that girl you wouldn't be interested in.
Yeah, like
Where I'm- where I'm at
it.
now, right now, nah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Where I'm
That's how I
currently.
initially took it. Like I took it as if you saying like she's moving like that, and it's well known the account that she has. I'm just nah.
Yeah, because you know there are women out there, whether they're in the public eye or not. You know, in certain circles of life. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about something the other day. You know what I'm saying? We were talking about. So it's like he knew her in that way. That was that, and then this other dude I know knew her, and now it's my turn. You get what I'm saying? So.
I mean, and all power to him. I mean, it's just a hot girl summer, so I ain't saying not to do. Yeah, like do what you want, you know. But like, I just that ain't where I'm at currently. You know, that just ain't for me.
Word.
Right now.
So, all right, y'all. You let us know your perspective, fellas. Feel free to chime in. What did you have to unlearn about, relationships or the opposite sex? Women, we definitely want to hear from you. All right, we'll be back with another episode.
4K, we out.